wrong with you? You benched me, even when you knew how important this mission was to me. And you let her live. How could you? After all the damage she's caused, after what she did to us at Horizon Point. Tell that to Helen, or Wade, or Eric. I should have seen the signs. I knew you weren't fit to lead. Yet I fooled myself into believing in the promise of you. Give me one good reason why I should spend a single moment more under your command. Do I? I need some space for now. But I'll be ready for whatever comes next. Once I stop seeing red. short-range transmission just came in from Zeb. Sounded urgent. He's requesting we meet him at the tomb of the matriarch, here on Praetor. It's where the matriarch and first sovereign are buried, supposedly. It's the Protectorate, Commander. What they say publicly and what is actually true ain't usually the same. Zeb left out the mission parameters, probably worried his message might be intercepted. Not unfounded, given the Protectorate presence on Praetor. He did say he'd reach out to us again if he needed help. Reckon we should take it as a compliment. Zeb doesn't trust easy. Anyway, I'd really like to go, if there's time. Much obliged. The sooner we can rendezvous at the tomb, the better. Got the sense that whatever's going down, it's happening now.
That structure in the distance is the Interstitial Reconfiguration Center. I mean, I'd assume it is. Looks like a Rift experimental facility type place, right?
Protectorate control of Praetor has largely been achieved through the maintenance of a blockade. A survey of Praetor indicates there may be an alternate route past the blockade via the Automech factory.
Ready to take the heat off you, Commander. Just say when. Let me know when you need a distraction.
Sector approach.
Recharge for mayhem! Can't say I'm too fond of that noise. We're meeting what's making it. Look sharp! It's a fight!
Find my next victim. I mean, a hostile.
ready to waste them. On your command.
Unfriendly company. They're fine. Let's weapon prime.
Guns cocked and loaded.
Just get the signal.
Recharged for mayhem!
worry about. You lot couldn't hit the bomb side of a freighter.
To die.
Attention, Commander. There may be valuable parts at this location that can improve this unit's functionality. Performing a thorough search of the Automech factory is advised, should you wish to maximize your Valerie unit's combat effectiveness. Building factory schematics. It is likely the desired parts are being stored somewhere on the ground floor.
Look sharp. It's a fight.
Give the order and I'll take care of him, Commander. Hostiles near.
Caution subjects. A security breach has been detected. A full laboratory lockdown is now in effect. Repeat, this is a full laboratory lockdown. Stay calm, remain vigilant, and obey security personnel. And always trust that the Sovereign protects.
I'll be trying that thing out later. And no, I wasn't asking.
Attention subjects. The laboratory lockdown has been lifted, and your faith in the Sovereign has been reaffirmed. You may resume normal activities.
Cut above the average. Replenishing my fire. Recommencing.
Let me know when you need a distraction.
Over here! Free hole in the head! Come at me!
Another intolerable disruption!
Give the order and I'll take
Sustain
care of
the
him, Commander. Nothing in range.
Replenishing my firearms! Disruptive influences!
Guns cocked and loaded. Just get the signal.
For our beneficent leader! Glory bound! Maintaining perfection!
Who needs to die?
Ready to waste them. On your command.
To what ends do you endeavor? What kind of tomfoolery is this? Restoring the... Employing a thorough, methodical search pattern. Changing magazines, efficiently and in short order. They covet our due bounty. There you are.
Weapon prime!
You sure do go through ammo, don't you?
Not to worry. We can always craft us more.
Need something?
Ready to take the heat off you, Commander. Just say when.
Recharge for mayhem! Sharp enough. Hostile here.
Ready to waste it. On your command.
Protectorate personnel. Only beyond this point. Leave immediately. If you are not of the Protectorate, you are this unit's enemy. Preparing to unleash disproportionate amount of ammunition on unresponsive bystander.
Look sharp! It's a fight!
Happy to assist in crafting more ammo if you need it. Not to question the gift, but I'd expect a lot more personnel around for a lab of this size. Where is everyone?
Attention, IRC staff. Please head inside for an important announcement from the Council. Attendance is mandatory.
Be more surprised if it was optional. At least that explains where everyone went.
an anomalous event. The interstitial hall and exhibition tower is off limits for the foreseeable future to any and all non-essential personnel. All requests to view the prototype rift anomaly modulator are hereby suspended for the time being. Please direct all further queries and studies to the lead researcher's office.
Subjects, listen well. Days ago, our beloved sovereign, in his infinite wisdom, submitted himself to mental refreshment to strengthen his resolve for the good of all. At his command, I, Emery Thoreau, now accept the responsibility of shepherding you through these dark times until our sovereign's blessed return. I shall not take this duty lightly, for I address you today not as the consul, nor even as your new leader, which I am, but as a simple man who wants nothing more than to defend his home and his neighbors. But I cannot do it alone.
I smell regicide. The Sovereign's certainly dead.
The Sovereign's a downright dove compared to the Consul. This is gonna be bad for everyone.
Sovereign, so dry those tears as I call upon you to stand tall with renewed zeal. Together, we will finish our great sovereign's work and purge Arcadia of those who seek to harm us. We shall clench our victory and step into the prosperous future our matriarch promised.
Up the fire! Let me know when you need a distraction.
Moving to cover.
Check enemy like just. Hey, got a distraction for you. I'm the one you need to worry about.
Refilling my... The Protectorate endures. Come upon me unaware. You will answer for it harshly.
Got my lamps on an unfront.
something inside it that wants to come out. You can all hear that, right? The Rift Anomaly Modulator. Oh, they still my heart. To interact with the Rifts will be to touch perfection. Well, if everyone didn't know we were here before, they certainly do now. I guess we'll need to use that rift modulator to get us out of here.
Subtle thief. Yes, you with the rift modulator. I've made the intercom of... It's not every day that someone is fool enough to break into the Interstitial Reconfiguration Center. I'd be obliged if you would regale me with the tale of how you managed to get this far. Evidently not. But this one is secure enough to prevent your ever leaving it. I can assure you of that. Well, there will be time to scrutinize every angle of this breach at a later date, once I have dealt with you. I could also reduce you to a state of quivering agony, begging for death. And that would be a lot more enjoyable for me, if I'm being candid. No matter. I will await you in the hangar, where bullets may fly more freely than words, if you survive that long.
Bad company.
danger at hand.
I'll stop fighting!
Sovereign never seemed especially perturbed.
You suppose there's been another incident? Like the one with the song?
Guns cocked and loaded. Just give the signal.
Mason into cover. Bettering position.
Ready to take the heat off you, Commander. Just say when.
Minimizing exposure. Replenishing my... Replenishing my firearm.
Ready to waste them. On your command. Spy mo-
Looking low on ammo there, Commander. I could help you whip something up.
All right.
Supposed to shoot the enemy.
Now that you have the rift modulator, any previously inaccessible rift could be worth revisiting. Rifts may contain useful equipment and resources. However, due to the chaotic nature of reconstitution, some creative problem solving may be required in reaching them.
Nice weather we have been having, or not having. Goodbye.
Got eyes on some no.
Get to work and I'll take care of them, Commander.
Got something special for Val here. Not that she isn't special already.
The idea is to kill them before you die. Let me know when you need a distraction. You lot couldn't hit the broadside of a freighter. Over here, free hole in the head. Hostile spotted. Now you see. That's dope.
I'm alive. Who needs to die?
In the nick of time, as always.
Your arrival could not be more timely. After the events of Paradise Island, I could think of no one more suited to conduct a surgical strike of this nature. I'm, glad to see you again as well, Niles.
Gotta say you had me worried. The message you sent sounded serious.
Then I composed it accurately. To the task at hand. We are standing before the tomb of the matriarch. Few are invited to tour its halls, and even fewer know of its greatest secret. For any subject, visiting the matriarch and First Sovereign's resting place is the pinnacle of empty social achievement. But the tomb's corpses are its least important feature. The intelligence my friends risked all to acquire revealed a vault in its lowest level containing the matriarch's body of work, hidden from the public. Who knows what technologies the Protectorate is withholding? If the matriarch was the genius she's purported to be, the skip drive cannot be the entirety of her inventions. I would not put it past the Protectorate to disrespect their dead by tucking weapons in alongside them. Whatever technological advancements may be sequestered here, the goal is almost certainly to keep the populace of Arcadia subservient to the pernicious whims of its governing body. But not for much longer. We are going to liberate any and all of the matriarch's research, whatever it may be, and distribute it to the people. The time for considering risk is past. We cannot afford to be timid when battling giants. Besides, now I have 2 Earth Directorate agents to assist me. What could go wrong?
I can see a half-dozen points of failure, but bad odds ain't ever stopped us before.
Glad we're operating under the same understanding. We're unlikely to have another chance like this. We must follow through now that we've made the opening. Which also means, once inside, we cannot leave until it's done. The Consul is incensed about the death of one of his own. He sends sentinels to hunt Audra down. I try to help her hide, but they found her anyway. They tortured her for the locations of the other members of our cell. They're all gone now, dead. I alone am left to complete our mission.
What the commander said. We thought we were doing the right thing.
I will not pretend it isn't a blow, but what's done is done. There will be time to grieve once the Protectorate is dead and buried. After you. Stay close and keep silent. The less attention we draw, the better. By the matriarch, there weren't supposed to be visitors today. That sentinel and dosage are gonna put splinters in our plan if they're not dealt with.
You hang back here. The commander and I'll take care of this.
Gladly. I'll rejoin you once the path is clear.
System's been activated. Run! Do not rush me. Wait, what is that buzzing noise? No.
Well done springing the jaws of that trap on the Sentinel. Now to give that docent similar treatment.
Troublemaker approach.
Ain't recharged.
Continue. Wait there. I'll come to you.
security room that we need to reach is nearby. We should be able to disable that energy barrier from there.
Who goes? No one is allowed in here without the proper authorization. Ah, I see you have come armed. Intruders, then. I suppose you intend to extract my surrender through means most lurid and foul.
Damn, the head curator. I had hoped to slip in before his shift, but no matter. We cannot allow him to leave and raise the alarm. He must be dispatched, quickly.
How's that now?
Now hold on. I know we had to kill that fella with the Sentinel, but this man's unarmed. He's already surrendered.
I rather think that line has some blurry distinction.
How much of a fuss could this one fella cause, really? Come on, Zeb. No need to cut any bellies over maybes and ifs.
Please, if secrecy's your concern, you may rely upon me to be the utmost spirit of discretion. I have never betrayed a confidence in my life.
Allowing him to leave would be a grave error of mercy, one we can ill afford in this place.
Yes, right. I have a family. Well, no, not as yet, but one day. I swear on my love of the Consul? Let me leave, and I will breathe not a word of your presence here.
Do not allow these crabbled tears to fool you. This is all a performance. No true subject of the Protectorate would yield so easily. We're wasting time. This man is an instrument of empire, perpetuating the tyrant's lies. And were our positions reversed, he would not hesitate to execute us, or worse, send us to mental refreshment.
I'm kin to the risks, Zeb.
Are you? Can you even fathom the indignity of having your every thought scrutinized and scored and made perfect? My sister was made into a shadow. I endured daily sessions with the lathe of particularity and still find myself policing my own mind for untoward proclivities and inclinations.
Sorry, Zeb. I'm with the commander on this one.
You are merciful and wise. I will depart at once.
Let's hope the consequences of this decision do not assert themselves while we're still here. You and Niall should turn off the power to the security barrier and make your way to the vault. I'll remain here and guide you as best I can through the labyrinth. No turning back now.
No going back from here. Not until we've done what we came into.
Hold! Don't set foot in that room. The schematics on this console indicate this place is defended by all manner of traps. One moment. Yes. It appears there are N-ray tripwires, invisible to the naked eye, that will electrify the floors as cautiously.
If you plan on conjuring ammo from the Aether, we ought to get to crafting some. Commander. Reckon I found something that might be useful later. Have a look, Commander. With a little elbow grease and some inadvisable engineering, reckon I can finagle these components into a fine explosive gel. Who knows? Could come in handy. Just doing my part. But thanks for the vote of confidence, Commander. Let's keep on. I'll continue tinkering on this in the meantime, see what I can come up with.
Made it through. Good. Now there should be 3 switches in this room. When pulled in the correct order, the doors should open. If I'm reading this right, the order is 1, 3, 2. But which switch corresponds to which number? Ah, damn it. Why must the Protectorate extract everything?
There must be a way to suss out which switch is which. Maybe if we could peep the wiring.
Not lament a stroke of good fortune.
Does that seem a little off to you, Commander? I think he's starting to worry me. That business with the curator. I'm glad Zeb stood down, but it was close. Never seen him so eager for bloodletting before. He's changed. Ain't sure for the better. Losing Aldra and the rest of his cell couldn't have helped neither. Oh, what a mess we made of that whole business with the Sentinel. Well, no use stewing. We've still got a vault to break into and tyrannical government to topple.
That vault door is quite the obstruction. Fortunately, there should be a code. No. Fuck! They changed it recently. That shouldn't have happened until next week. I'm certain I can diagnose the issue. Now that you've cleared the way, I'll come down and join you.
I might have something else that can get you into that vault, Commander. Remember those components I found? I was able to turn them into something halfway useful after all. This gel should get us through that vault door. Turns out you were right about trusting my instincts. You take the honors, Commander. I'll be right behind you.
I was hoping for a more subtle incursion, but doesn't matter.
Am I running hot, or was that a hint of worry I heard in your voice back there?
Alas, I neglected to pack a thermometer.
This terminal should allow me to retrieve all the information stored here. This cannot be right. There's nothing here save the designs for the skip drive. Not even initial concepts. 10 years in Arcadia and the Matriarch invented nothing? And what's this about a deal with the Earth Directorate? We need to talk. Now. I knew the Protectorate festered with lies, but I had no idea the Earth Directorate was complicit. Niles, did you know?
Slow up, Zeb. What are you talking about?
It says your agency struck an agreement with the Matriarch over a century ago. In exchange for skip drives, Arcadia was allowed to completely govern itself with absolutely no outside interference, including from the Earth Directorate.
Must be why the chief said we'd be on our own if we were caught. We were breaking the terms of this agreement. Unbelievable.
If this information is true, then the Earth Directorate permitted the Matriarch to create a colony filled with her vassals, enslaved to her will. Everything Arcadia is, all of the suffering that's taken place here, it all could have been avoided. Things could have been different. There's more. The skip drive schematics are here. How the explosive safeguards against tampering work. Its evolution over time. But no original concepts, no sketches. Nothing. Our dear Matriarch is a fraud. A cheat. She did not invent the skip drive. There are messages here between her and the First Sovereign that all but confirm it. I thought I might find some technological innovation that could be handed to the Protectorate's enemies. But this is almost better. By releasing this information, we can thoroughly crush the image the Protectorate has been built upon. No longer will the Protectorate's myth of superiority be used as a cudgel against its own populace. If we administer truth to the people, their strength will return. Erstwhile, giving the skip drive designs to the Protectorate's enemies will even the fight. Their technological prowess will be made into nothing. Everything will come apart.
If the whole colony ain't destroyed first by some fool trying to use a drive inside the system, they're what's causing the rift, Zeb. Not to mention how this agreement with the Protectorate will completely destroy the Earth Directorate's reputation.
I was not aware of such a connection between rifts and the skip drives. But I have confidence the Order will figure out a solution. Science is their theater, after all. As for the Earth Directorate, don't you see? This frees them from any obligation to the Protectorate. They'll be able to manufacture skip drives themselves. The deal will be voided.
I couldn't muster less care for the Earth Directorate. But making skip drives available to all? That'd be like throwing a lit match into a fuel converter. Can't think of a worse idea.
Do you think the Protectorate stand around debating the potential for injury? No. They act, and so must we. Damn the consequences. And should I refuse to leave empty-handed? What then? Short of shooting me? No.
I know you're aiming to do the most good for the most amount of people, Zeb, but sowing chaos ain't the way.
Do you know how many of my friends died so we could reach this point? Audra and the others, tortured and hunted down like animals. And you would have me what? Give up now on the cusp of victory? Lay bare my throat for the Protectorate machine to cut? I am listening. Though I suppose I could stand to be a little more receptive. Out of respect for my friend, I will forestall the release of this information and seek another avenue to help liberate the people of Arcadia. I'll remain here for a while longer to cover our tracks. The Protectorate will discover the break-in, but hopefully never learn more specifics of what we did and found.
Guess this is goodbye.
Only for now. If we both come out of this war intact, I'll find you. If you wish to be found, of course.
I want to talk it over with the commander, but yeah, maybe we can work something out.
There they are. The ruffians who threatened me.
Sharpen up. Hostiles nearby. Enemy spotted.
Zeb was right. You never should have.
Rio.
I see that friendly
That covered. Reserve set.
Don't even know where to start with everything that happened in there. At least we were able to talk Zeb out of his plan to release everything we uncovered. I'm all for sowing chaos in the Protectorate, but that kind of information is liable to do more harm than good in the wrong hands. Law knows the Earth Directorate ain't perfect, but leaving a whole colony to suffer tyranny, all for its own benefit? That flies in the face of everything it stands for. Permission to speak candid, Commander. Yeah, suppose we've moved well past formalities. I flat out refused to see it before, but maybe you've been right about the Earth Directorate this whole time. They're no more immune to corruption than anyone else with power. Besides, look at all we've accomplished without its resources or support. Arcadia only stands a chance because of us, not the Earth Directorate. Might be we're better off on our own, answering to no one, achieving the ends, and damn the means. You really think we can make a lick of difference when it comes to an organization that large? Just a pair of us? Not sure why you're suddenly reversing polarity on the Earth Directorate now, after everything we've learned, but void it. I'm still in this thing if you are. Let's be the best damn agents this galaxy has ever seen. All said, I appreciate you giving me the space to work through this. Sort of feels like the future's opening back up after a long time closed. Likewise, Commander.
Praetor, you owe me a sparring session. Get your gloves and warm up.
What? Again? I don't suppose you'd accept a doctor's oath for vow.
Come on. I already promised I won't throw elbows this time. Where's your fighting spirit?
Must have had it knocked clean out of me. In fact, why don't I go look for it now?
Moment of your time, Commander. Remember that matter on Cloister I mentioned earlier? Well, since we're here and all, thought we might take it up now. Might be hard to believe, but 20 or so odd years ago, I made a mistake. Feels like high time I righted it. Now I'm out and about again. That's where the error occurred, I believe. Others judged it such. I shut it down. Believe I was wrong to do so. For many years now, a former colleague of mine's been in a remote spot called Reasons Pass, on account of my decision. Hardly. Quite the opposite, in fact. She's one of the finest minds to ever grace the Order. Her research was unconventional, surely. She was as well. I think with both, we could right things, get the Order back on its intended path. Do appreciate it, Commander. Is quite conducive for cooling the archive, and unconducive for me feeling my fingers.
The body are nothing contrasted to the Order's future. Hold. We're presently observing a ceasefire with Auntie's choice, but its duration may be subject to sudden reversal. Would hate for you to get caught in any crossfire. See that giant glowing structure in the distance there? That's the Archive's main entry point. However, I'd caution you to give it a wide berth. The Archive's under Protectorate control, and they mean to keep it. You'll not gain access without serious military support. For every problem, a solution. That's the Order way. Though if we were capable of retaking the Archive, I assume we would have done it by now. Never hurts to ask, though. Ultimately, it's the leadership's call. I find it best to keep my eyes on my own paper. Gathering data on the enemy's movements and behavior. Blizzards raise the degree of difficulty, but that's our problem, not yours. Cloister has been a difficult front, and losing the Archive, first to the invaders and now to the Protectorate, has made it even more painful. Never mind the rifts. If you're looking for a way to help us out, I recommend heading to Laplace's garden. Follow this path and you can't miss it. Only the finest place on this ice ball. Words aren't sufficient to capture its many quality attributes. Best you observe it yourself. Avalanche collapsed part of the tunnel to the gardens, so the safest path is along the cliffside here. Mind your step.
If you're keen to beg the Order for help getting into the archive, here's your chance. But we're better off making a deal with Auntie's Choice. At least we know the asking price.
Oh, hello. Cogitate here often?
Hey, Commander. Something tells me the Order won't be keen on letting an enemy soldier walk through their gates. Reckon I oughta step away? Never thought you'd manage to save DeVries along with the delegates. They could be good allies when we look for help closing the rifts. Assuming DeVries sticks to her change of heart. There's one thing I can't shake, though. That rift exploded at just the right time, right in the middle of the peace talks. Wouldn't happen to be the universe trying to tell us something, would it? I reckon it's saying that all our political machinations will mean nothing in due time. Nature will always defeat us. But we can learn to work with it, like with the rift tech. By the way, what DeVries said about Auntie and the rift tech, don't take it to heart, huh? Auntie ain't an idiot. Much as she loves business, reckon she loves self-preservation even more. I'd agree with you, but I reckon we don't have the time to seek out certainty. Still, think we ought to pay the undisputed claim a visit, see if we can court Auntie's aid. Your boss was clear. We'll need all the help we can get to close these rifts. Whether we gain that help from Auntie or not, I won't lose sight of that. Our galaxy's survival is of far more consequence than our loyalties. Anyway, appreciate you hearing me out. If you say so. Try not to get into too much trouble without me.
Heard that rift near the archive has destabilized. Must be a sign. The Protectorate's latest action.
Ah, Agent, I have a message for you. On behalf of the Order of the Ascendant, and her impermeable wisdom, the presiding bishop Ruth Bassar, welcome to Laplace's garden. The presiding bishop is presently indisposed, but I've been instructed to direct you to the Artificer Laureate for whatever pressing matter has brought you to the garden. She's working in Belvedere Hall's secondary courtyard. Enter the large building at the top of the mesa ahead and follow the first hall on your right. Oh, yes. The vicar did ask me to direct you to him. How positively forgetful of me. He should be waiting for you in Belvedere Hall's main courtyard at the top of the stairs. The Artificer Laureate is head of the Department of Applied Scientism, overseeing the exemplars, or craftsmen, of our order. Weapons and technology all fall under her purview. Oh no, not at all. The presiding bishop routinely spends time in a sensory deprivation chamber to hone her mental faculties. Of course, she does seem to be logging more hours in the chamber of late, but I'm certain that's all part of the plan. The rest of the Laureate Council is capable of managing affairs while the presiding bishop is occupied. Really, it's no reason for concern. Nothing in the garden is. Look around you. I don't see a battlefield. Do you? All conflict is transient in nature. To dwell on the negativity of a moment is to risk missing the opportunity of what comes next. Those in the garden have enough perspective to remain present and to focus on what matters: science and progress. And you for recognizing such quality of vision. But now, I fear I have kept you long past an ideal duration. May all your problems precede solutions.
Is it just me? Or does something seem... Oh, never mind.
I'm cutting you off there, Charles. That's your third conviction today. People will start to worry. Welcome to the CAF integration point. Will it be caffeine or convictions today? Convictions are statements which promote personal and professional confidence and well-being, leading to 22.9% more scientific breakthroughs in a given quarter. Interested? Before I can administer your conviction, I need to ask you a question. In what area of your life do you feel you need the most improvement? Personal or professional? Expand on that for me. You will not remain trapped in a state of ignorance for long. All the answers you seek will be revealed in time through hard work and dedication. A 24-hour period of self-reflection and circumspection is recommended after receiving your first conviction. Now then, a brief conversation is customary following the initial service. I haven't seen you around before. New project appointment? Must be an adjustment, all things considered. Come now, don't tell me you haven't noticed our particular strain of hospitality here in the garden. I can only imagine how odd such an abundance of tranquility and friendliness must seem when contrasted with, well, anywhere else in Arcadia, especially in the middle of a war, and so near active fighting. Almost unfeasible, wouldn't you say?
You know, you do a passable impression of a scientician. Did you grow up near one of our settlements? Have a few years of order training?
I'm quite sure I don't know what you mean.
Oh, I understand you may technically count as a member, but there's a perfunctory element to your articulation. You don't believe in the plan, and you're clearly up to something. She sized you up almost immediately, Commander. Been softly probing you for information. I clocked her the first moment she opened her mouth. Appreciate that. I spent decades undercover with only self-affirmations to assuage my vacillating morale. Well, do I have to shoot up the place? Or will you come clean immediately? Who do you work for, little mole?
By the architect, keep your voice down, please. Even if what you say is true, this isn't a conversation best had amidst present company. Let's talk somewhere more private. Behind the CAF integration point, perhaps? You must be curious why I asked for such a discreet rendezvous. Allow me to whet your appetite for intrigue a little further, shall I? I have adequate reason to believe the Order is conducting a mass experiment on the population of Laplace's garden. The Order is not cultivating its perfect, plan-abiding society through careful ideological pruning, as the laureates would have you believe. It's simple pharmacology. Put bluntly, they're regulating the emotions of everyone in Laplace's garden through drugs in the water supply. I'm limiting my water intake and using other pharmaceuticals to combat the effects. It's not a perfect system, but it works adequately enough. Why would the Order want to create a society of undistractable little academics whose only desire is to advance the plan? I wonder. Moderate your volume, please! No one here is in any immediate peril. Probably. The Order claims the subjects here supposedly consented to participate, but it was begun prior to the schism with the Protectorate, so who's to say? Regardless, if the Order has made some kind of pharmaceutical breakthrough, imagine how useful it might be to certain parties to know about it in advance. Who knew you had such a keen mind for business? I represent a group of information traders who would pay well to get their hands on a sample of this drug. Interested? So you've heard of us. Good. That makes this easier. My primary task has been to watch the Order. But I'm confident my superiors would agree. Physical proof is of far greater value than mere rumor. Nothing nefarious, if that's the needle in your conscience. We only mean to study the drug and consider all of its many applications. I know that must read as terribly vague to you, but I'm not at liberty to provide more detail than that. All you need to do is enter water reconditioning and collect a sample of the drug. I believe they call it perspective. This passcode will give you access to the main terminal. Watch the guards patrol before making your way into the facility. If worst comes to worst, I wager Laureate Beckett also has a keycard on him, but that might be tricky to lift. Lately, he's been sitting near the fountains, performing his silly little breathing exercises. If he's not there, then he's likely in conference with the presiding bishop. Whatever you do, be discreet. I can't have any laureates asking questions about me. Understood? One more thing before you leave. Outside of work, I have, let's call it an alternative inventory. You'll have to pay, of course, but I'm sure I have something that'll make your job a little easier. And I'd like to offload some of this merchandise. Sounds like a win-win.
A scientician's surplus. No more than what you need. Which we acquired from a corporate
Welcome to the Scientician's Surplus. I am the scientician in question. Any inquiries about the stock may be directed to me.
Belated testing by Auntie's Choice's unlettered scientists showed that the berries were not poisonous at all.
Either you intend to buy or you intend to go without. It would be unethical for me to interfere with your decision-making process.
Or PvP, as it is colloquially called in Auntie's Choice's records. More specifically, the PvP exoplanet
Every day treating the same strains and abrasions. The operating theater is not conducting viewing dissections at this time. That is not an invitation to return to your study and perform exploratory surgery on yourself or a willing volunteer, just to be clear.
Strange to see all this vacant space after the overcrowding at Matriarch's Mercy. Plenty of room for refugees here. If only the Order administrants got their act together.
Also, as the expelled contents contain undigested...
How did your hypothesis about the flowers fare?
Exposing them to melodic sound waves on a consistent basis.
Security personnel are permitted in this booth.
Agent, over here. Well, this is a welcome confluence of events. Why, without you, Gertie and I wouldn't be alive. And any hope of peace between the Order and Auntie's Choice would be over. Dreadful, you know. Positively dreadful. How the peace talks were interrupted. I felt our two delegations were making real progress. While making our escape, we encountered one of the renegades of my order, wounded and dying. He sought to unburden himself, now convinced Wiley's calculations were wrong. He told us all about that terrible DeVries woman's plan, and theorized you must have stopped her. Well, I think that's what he said. There was quite a lot of gurgling. You have mine and Gertie's utmost gratitude for intervening. Had she succeeded in assassinating us, it would have terminated any hope for peace. Officially, not at present. Gertie and I have kept up communication through back channels in the hope that the discussions can be reconvened in due time. It is my earnest belief that this is the optimal course to chart for the Order, and for Arcadia, though we could certainly use assistance from an outside force like yourself. To begin, I believe you would need to put forth efforts in good faith with each of the two groups. Earning the trust of both sides is essential. Once you've worked your way up to meeting our respective leaders, you must convince them to consider joining forces. For one, having the allied might of their forces at your back when facing down the Protectorate. If that's not sufficient, perhaps some additional incentive could also be provided. And if you might consider an appeal to your better nature, ending the conflict between Auntie's Choice and the Order would have untold benefits for all Arcadia. Transplendent. Remember, seek out ways to help both sides, engender trust. Gertie and I can let you know when it's time to move forward. In the meantime, I might recommend you work on honing your oratory skills. Our presiding bishop and Auntie Cleo can be challenging to debate with.
Very themed foods and beverages, all of them mislabeled parasite.
A visitor? It's for the best that you're talking to me now instead of mid-work. I do seem to have a slight propensity for stabbing randomly with my tools when interrupted, but I suppose that's enough time spinning in the statements column. Speak away. What are you... Beckett. Another prediction that he hasn't seen fit to notify me about. A more cynical exemplar might posit his doing this to be intentional. If you're here, I imagine you aim to petition the presiding bishop for her support, which is hardly a surprise. She is the most important individual in Arcadia. Not if I cannot gauge for certain if you can be trusted. I cannot allow just anyone to wander into Ruth's quarters. But there is something you could do to prove yourself worthy. A myriad of cultists have taken over the settlement of Newton, which is a nearby site of historical but not strategic significance. I want them gone. Once there was a bridge stretching from the settlement to the archive, but it was destroyed by a rift. Best keep your distance should you travel there. From what I understand, Vicar Levin's continued existence is a mere side effect of whatever personal vendetta you happen to be attending to. I'm pleased he does not lie among the ranks of the dead, but I will need a more tangible effort on your part to trust you. If the Order could predict the future infallibly, my mentors would be alive. Seers become less accurate the more specific and more distant the prediction. All that aside, you shall need the Order's trust if you wish to see Ruth. This task will allow that. Journey to Newton. Eliminate the cultists to a person. Then we may speak of getting you an audience with Ruth. I'll withhold my appreciation until this task is complete. May you act within the equation's confines.
We should collect Azza from the ship first. Unless you don't want the benefits of her inside knowledge of the cult.
Unaccountably so. But, you strike me as someone with a very small body of selfish will. Have you at least determined the cause of the avalanche?
Receive your personalized order prediction here. I'll admit to a bit of trepidation.
Honestly, the ones you get in the field are lifesavers. I would have been dead 3 times over without mine.
Oh, that does set my mind at ease. Use caution as you progress. There's been reports of arthropods in the area.
Your perfection.
Stabilization determined.
Catheter deployed. Free energy if you can reach it.
Soldier, please assess your pain on a variable scale of 1 to 100, with 1 being entirely pain-free and 100 being the worst pain you can imagine.
There is far too much variability in that scale. The amount of pain I can imagine is hardly an objective measure of the maximum amount of pain I could actually feel.
Your observation is correct, which is a diagnostic in its own right. Now, if you were to image a scale of 0.4 to 0.7, nothing. Excuse me, I don't think you have the author. It's fine, but don't get too close. You won't survive direct contact. All the items we put into the rift, they've been reconstituted, but in a state far different from their original configuration. Fascinating. Observe.
Seems the Protectorate has been gaining ground since winning control of the Archive.
UNEAC has likely been sorting out the logistic problems. It took a moon-sized computer to do it. Imbeciles.
Chronologically printed. Proceeding to attack. Fine.
Unfriendly company. They're not.
Energy capacitor out. Energy is up for grabs. Capacitor unit away. Recharge before it discharges.
Replenishing my firearm. Stay in the system. Moving to safety. For our beneficent leader. Replenishing my firearm. Hey, seeking cover. Ought to reload.
Sort of correction, so I did words of my matter. I could be better again with a quick mental refresh.
Resistance Pass is off limits. Unwelcome guests will be ushered from existence promptly and without further ado. First, it was Auntie's choice, then the Protectorate. After that, some daft cultists. I don't even know what group you Hullheads belong to. Don't care either. Your motivations are relatable to me in only the vaguest abstract form, if you possess any at all. Don't leave all full of anger now. Just leave. There's nothing even here anymore. If you're weirdly intent on dying for nothing, it's your life.
Resorting to violence.
Just give me the time.
You ain't worth scrap.
Reloading blanket. I'm loaded.
Capacitor out. Get it while it's energized.
Breath weapon prime!
That's the aerosol? Get in here before any more of these Hullheads show up. Aerosol. You're here. That is assuming you're not some sort of enigmatic mirage or baleful apparition. Yeah. I would never see you again. It's been what? 19 years? 20?
21 years, 5 months, 6 days. I've kept up on a few former colleagues.
A few? Right. You retain a different admirer in every port, I'm sure.
Yes. These are my colleagues. They assisted me in a matter regarding a conspiracy headed by a cabal. It was all rather involved. My identity became revealed after I'd been undercover for a considerable time.
You were flushed out? What other low-probability events have occurred since... Oh, wait, I'm being rude. Forgive my atrophied social graces. I shoot most of my visitors lately. I am Anais Bujold. Welcome to my backwater ramshackle abode.
Seer Anais Bujold.
No one's called me that in, well, you know exactly how long, apparently.
If I'd realized this was a formal visit, I'd have worn my fancy killing clothes.
Charmed, I'm sure. So nice to see Marisol gaining such interesting friends. She's mentioned the little spook show we used to work at, right? I was an analyst in predictive risk assessment. She was, in the field, as it were. Solving the universal equation is the ultimate purpose of every member of the Order. Our express remit was to identify events that could delay or derail that.
Once an issue was identified, I'd be assigned to address it.
At a certain point, I became one of her assignments. I was developing a means of sidestepping much of the presumed requirements to solve the universal equation, using a series of reasoned shortcuts and educated postulations, filling in certain blanks. Trillions. Theoretically, it would hurry the process along so it could be solved in our lifetime, but it was unorthodox, risky if taken too far. I knew the Council would judge it mathematical heresy, so I attempted to work in secret. Eventually, I was discovered, excommunicated, sent here.
Others facing similar charges were often transferred off-planet, then simply disappeared somewhere along the way.
Yes. Fortunately, someone interceded.
Yes. With ample time to think, I've come to recognize I made an error.
Really? That is, an unprecedented statement for you. But do go ahead, I'm listening.
The last 20 years, the Order heedlessly stumbled. First, Antes invaded, then the Protectorate. We lost the Archive. Twice. Had your work continued, I believe we'd have remained closer to our true path. If I had ignored the Council's command. It was a mistake. I miscalculated.
If not for you, I'd be dead right now. And you were right to shut me down. My research was dangerous. A serious threat to the entire universe. I know this for certain now. I've run the numbers. Repeatedly. Had to do all my calculations long form, free of computronic assistance. Wouldn't advise it, but I've been here on my own for decades, and I remain a reasonable statistician. I calculated what might occur if my work was completed, and there is a troublingly high, statistically significant chance of things ending. Everything ending. I understand how that sounds, but I have spent years checking and rechecking each and every variable. I assume all my notes and calculations were destroyed years ago.
Anais, I'm afraid it's not that simple. When we shut down your work, it was quarantined, not disposed of. The Order stores all avenues of study deemed dangerous near here at a facility in Winter's Grasp. Unorthodox notion reclusion.
Of all the bureaucratic... No. Poof. Winter's Grasp is crawling with Auntie's Choice. A full unit just moved in. Marisol, will you... Can you...
You're asking me to infiltrate a covert installation to destroy something that could likely end the universe. Been years since anyone said something like that to me. Of course.
I might need a little time to ready this place for unwelcome guests. Wouldn't take long.
No, you should stay here. We'll take care of this.
I foresee a 4.7% chance of me complying with that. But fine, no use arguing. Well, this has certainly been nice. Perhaps we'll see each other again sometime.
Hostile intentions. The Praetor unit away. Recharge before it discharges.
See that spire? That's the archive.
Spire 10. What a massacre. We missed it.
filter out. Get it while it's energized. Standing by to stupefy.
Welcome, intrepid consumer, to Auntie's Choice territory. The wonders of winter's grasp lay ahead. Though do stay on the road. The ice caves conceal all
Hey, can you hear me?
Hayes, your family is depending on you.
I've no fair ideas of how to proceed, White. Nothing we do seems to garner the... Yes? Can I... wait. Welcome, potential customer, to the majesty of Auntie's military might. Normally, I would be at your service, but I'm dealing with a situation here. It's really none of your...
Sarge, maybe they can help. The two of us are certainly out of options.
And who'll pay them for the assistance? You? Very well. The issue is our compatriot, Trooper Hayes. He seems to have some kind of break or shock to the head, and he's, well...
Same sucker, bad habit blocker. It tracks every movement like a hunting death stalker. Try a gross habit, it shocks and nadgy bits. This flogger's a stopper, you just can't brush off her.
He's that.
Ever since the attack last night, he's been unresponsive and communicating only in jingles. At first I thought it might be some manner of marketing ploy, but it seems permanent. The artillery bombardment was particularly heavy last night before the assault began, and the rounds shook the ground so badly that our lantern flew off its hook on the wall. Hayes put his hands over his ears, lay fetal on the ground, and after the only thing that had come from his mouth were jingles. Old archaic jingles, ones I haven't heard in years. We must rouse him back to sanity. He's their sole earner, and should he be discharged, just the cost of his family's lodgings on the claim is more than enough to bankrupt them.
Crabble fabrics are exalting. The chitin shimmers and it shines. Your clothes will be so pretty, it's worth smelling like sea brine. Calorie killer, my weight loss pillar. Micro critters in my stomach, destroying all my dinner. La 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 la. The fastest way to thin is letting no calories in.
Yes. Well, maybe. They're the kind of sales roles you take when you're young, before you reach an age to become a real earner. Sadly, you're probably right. We'll try and get him back to base and hope there's enough in his account to cover psychodesectification. Thank you for trying to help.
Whoa there, go-getter. Say, have you ever considered the benefits of becoming a semi-confidential, unpaid informant for Auntie's Choice? Breathe once for yes. Clever sort now, aren't you? Field Agent Auerbach, proprietary inside acquisition. Our team's presently occupying these premises, but haven't fully brought them to heel, per se. Say, you look like some sort of rogue former member of the Order. Maybe you could tell us what this place is supposed to be.
Me? Part of the Order? Oh, no, dear. I assure you, I simply share their love of sweeping cloaks and sciencey-looking accessories. I shall update my wardrobe to avoid such confusion.
Would you happen to be familiar with this campus? We're not entirely clear what it was used for. As far as we can tell, Order's been cleared out for some time. If not, I might politely inquire what exactly you're doing here. Well, consider me even more intrigued by your presence. Heard hints this place was some sort of off-the-books research operation, which of course we of Auntie's Choice simply delight in. The Order left some fairly formidable security in one building. Mention that in case the prospect of certain death may inspire you to unburden yourself. Based on your reticence, I take it you're bound for unorthodox notion reclusion then. How exceedingly ill-advised. Ah, well, suppose we'll let you in. You might disable a death trap or two with your bodies, then we can step over your cadavers and maybe use them for a shield. Alternately, if you manage to find anything marketable, probably be game to barter for it later. Assuming you don't die, which in that case, we'll probably just retrieve it off your corpse. Either way.
Got some test brats volunteering to jump into that meat grinder, I see.
That whole place is one big death trap. You want in? Be my guest.
Oh, look who finally decided to appear.
Anais, you're not supposed to be here.
Events prove otherwise, don't they? While you were taking your time arriving, I found a way inside these corporate drones haven't discovered. I've grown rather adept at sneaking in and out of these so-called restricted areas unseen. Peeked around a little. They've conveniently posted signs where various types of dangerous research materials are stored away.
Leave it to the Order to rigorously catalog everything. Standard procedure dictates this facility will be riddled with traps, which will preclude much waltzing.
Burn-down initiation is listed on the top floor. They destroy materials through immolation there.
The research will be in reinforced containers, so enlisting the facility's own incineration measures would be prudent. Anais, stay here. Please.
I expected such to be your attitude, but I'll have you know that
I am not doubting your abilities. Quite the opposite. I need you to guard this entrance. Anyone appears, come running.
Fine. Go. I uncovered a vent in that office. Standard Order redundancy measure. Let's out past the barrier over there.
I'll hang back a moment while you depower that fence. Wriggling through vents is a young